What's up, YouTube? JM Comic here, and today we're discussing Legends of Tomorrow, all seasons ranked. While going for YouTube the other day, I noticed there aren't many Legends of Tomorrow videos ranking the seasons. It's like the least appreciated Arrowverse show, and that's so underrated. Like, honestly, I think it's better than Supergirl and most seasons of The Flash. That's how good it is. So let's rank all the seasons. But first, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below your favorite legend or your favorite season of Legends, or just if you hate Legends, hate on it, please. Just comment. Okay, at number 5 we have season 1, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 10 because it's not that good. I was debating whether or not to put this season or the next season in last place, you'll see. But after a lot of pros and cons, season 1 ended in last place. This season easily has the weakest cast of all 5. Series mainstays like White Canary, Atom, Firestorm, and Heatwave are present, but do not have major roles, and are reduced to supporting characters. The Firestorm characters, get a decent amount of screen time, and it is all well spent developing Stein and Jackson's relationship. Unfortunately, however, the integral characters to the plot are dreadful. Hawkman and Hawkgirl just bicker, and their arcs are stretched out way too long. I hate these characters. Hawkgirl dates literally everyone on the show, and Hawkman has no personality. The villain, Vandal Savage, could have been way cooler, like he was in Young Justice. And instead, he seemed like an ancient pervert, because he was. Rip Hunter on the season was actually pretty enjoyable, but his arc also got a bit repetitive after time. The plot is definitely the most serious, and it's way less entertaining because of it. In 4th place, we have Season 4, and I gave it a 5 out of 10. Very mediocre, just somewhat offensive, it's just bad. While Season 1 suffered from a poor cast, Season 4 suffered from an over-the-top story. It takes the silly factor the show is known for sky high and loses the entire superhero tone, becoming more of a comedy or fantasy show. It is one of the most unique seasons in the whole Arrowverse, but unique isn't always a good thing. The reason this lands higher than the first season is because this season at least retained the spirit of the team. It still has Legends of Tomorrow vibe, but it just makes questionable plot choices, like an irresponsible teen. Season 1 had a bad tone, while this season had more of a bad plot, as well as an inconsistent but pretty entertaining tone. And ultimately, tone is more determinant of entertainment value. So I'd say this season actually got most of it right. Like the actual core of the show, the plot itself was just really bad. The fairy tale creatures could have been more DC comic characters, like Swamp Thing, or Midget Spidlick, whatever his name is. But instead, the creators opted for generic unicorn, generic minotaur, generic witch, etc. All of my complaints spring up about halfway through the season, when the villain, Nexus, starts enacting his scheme and the season really starts to fall apart, like with the whole Hayworld amusement park. Overall, this season just couldn't hold itself up. In the middle, in 3rd place, we have Season 5, and I gave this season a 7.5 out of 10. A pretty good showing overall. This season is easily leagues ahead of the last two, and actually feels like a return to form for the show compared to them. However, it still suffers from a few of the same problems as Season 4, and you can really feel the creators running out of ideas. The main plot for the first half of this season is that multiple evildoers throughout history have been released by Astra, like my all-time favorite, Rasputin. And this is such a strong premise that takes the time travel theme to a whole nother level, and serves to evolve John Constantine's arc of Astra from his own show. If you didn't know, there was a John Constantine show, and this season really brings it together. However, the plot problems really start to show in the second half, when the main plot shifts to focus on Charlie and her sisters, who controlled the Loom of Fate. The Legends set off to retrieve the Loom's pieces, and this starts to become a very derivative rehash of Season 2's plot with the Spear of Destiny. Besides that huge problem, the rest of the season is pretty great overall. The show also comes to terms with the time displays Zari in a decently satisfying way. Finally, my favorite character Ray retires, and I think it was done pretty good with his relationship with Nora. And plus Damien Dark comes back for a while, pretty cool. In 2nd place, our runner-up is Season 3, and I gave it a 10 out of 10. Amazing. These top 2 seasons have been debating in my mind for a long time. In terms of quality, these are both super close. But this season's main villain isn't as strong, so it lands here. Season 3 is Legends finally accepting what it is. It is a show about misfits and sidekicks, getting their chance in the spotlight, and this season is easily the funniest, while retaining its sanity yet. Instead of feeling silly and over the top like Season 4, the jokes just feel natural and fit into the superhero world of the Arrowverse. This is where the main cast, White Canary, Atom, Firestorm, Vixen, Heatwave, Rip Hunter, and Steel, really peaked as characters. It was also where we said goodbye to Rip and Firestorm, whose exits were executed spectacularly. Damien Dark, Nora Dark, and Gorilla Grodd are amazing villains, but Malice, the main villain, is just generic and feels more like a plot device, which puts this season in second place. Overall, this season is one of Arrowverse's finest, and nearly took first place. Okay, before we get to our number one spot, you should know it by now, honestly. Here are the best moments from each season. In Season 1, Captain Cold's sacrifice is a fitting end to the chilly anti-hero. In Season 2, the episode titled Legion of Doom shows Damien Dark's perspective and is an interesting change of pace. In Season 3, the last episode is super climactic and closes Damien Dark and Rip Hunter's arcs in satisfying ways. In Season 4, literally just John Constantine's presence, it's a great addition to the Legends. And in Season 5, the dynamics between Behrad, Bovzarius, and Nate were entertaining, yet sad. Coming in the number one spot, pretty obviously, is Season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, with a 10 out of 10. It was a tough call, but Season 2 is not only the best Legends of Tomorrow season, but arguably the greatest season in the whole Arrowverse, fight me on it. It successfully got rid of the annoying characters Hawkman and Hawkgirl, and introduced a superior duo of Steel and Vixen. The remaining heroes of Season 1 got to shine in the spotlight, instead of being reduced to minor supporting cast members. The villain of this season is the Legion of Doom. This is the best part. It is essentially an all-star team-up of all of the Arrowverse's best villains: Reverse Flash from The Flash, Malcolm Merlyn from Arrow, Damien Dark from Arrow, and Captain Cold from The Legends. This season is where the show finally understood what it was trying to be, and Season 3 developed that further. And this season helped make it unique amongst the other CW superhero offerings. Not to mention, the JSA, Justice Society of America, basically the original Justice League, appeared here too, but they were kind of a weak showing. However, I understand why. The Legends needed a team to sort of serve as foils, so this plot point gets a pass. Besides that one somewhat glaring issue that's understandable, this season is perfect. There is nothing wrong about it, and it is the Arrowverse's best season in my opinion. Thanks for watching this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment about Legends of Tomorrow down below. Can't wait for Season 6 to come on Netflix and finish up this August.